Well, joining us now, the Independent MP Allegra Spender. Allegra, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So the Libs have their stance now on the Voice. They've dealt themselves out of it. Your thoughts on their official position now?
Look, I was really disappointed to see that, but frankly, for me, this is really a question for the Australian people, not a question, for the Federal Liberal Party. It's interesting to see that, there are Liberals around the country, including, I think it is the Premier for Tasmania and other Liberal leaders who support this. So this seems to be pretty much the position of the Federals as opposed to the National Party. But regardless, I think the question is really for the community, because I'm a bit over the politics. I come back to why I support this, which is because Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have asked for this, and because what we've been doing for decades is not working. And I think we need to do something different to make a practical difference in the lives of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And so that's why I support it.
There is the question of legal unknowns, though, Allegra. The Attorney General, the Solicitor General and constitutional law experts, several of them have all raised concerns. So it is definitely a legitimate concern. How can folks vote for it with that kind of cloud hanging over the top of it?
Look, I think that's really overstating it, to be honest. I think, I look at Justice French, who was the Chief Justice of the High Court, the highest court in the land for almost a decade. And he has been extremely clear that the Voice has the opportunity to make a practical difference to the lives of Aboriginal people, but does not pose any major issue for the Constitution or for the Australian legal system. And if you look at the wording's really clear, because it gives the Voice the opportunity to make representations on issues that affect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but it gives Parliament the primacy in terms of determining how that works.
Right.
And that's as it should be. Parliament should be in charge. That's what our job is. But that's, I think, really clear. So
you're not concerned about any of the legal unknowns, about any potential challenges?
Look, I think people will try it on, but I think that there's very strong, robust, construction of this. So I'm not concerned about
right.
this. But we'd still have, let's be honest, we've still got the committee for the next few weeks who is going to be examining this. So, if they raise any of these issues and there are any other sort of really significant issues that come out, I'll always listen to that. But, on the balance of all the evidence to date, I'm not concerned. I think that this has been something that's been contemplated literally for decades. And this wording has been worked through with some of the brightest legal minds in our land.
Okay, would it not be more prudent and successful that Indigenous recognition is in the Constitution? You've got guaranteed success that way.
Look, I think that this is about change, though, and the point is that you want to change the lives of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The average life expectancy for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people is 8 years less than non-Indigenous Australians. They are, I think I looked at the numbers, 13 times more likely to be incarcerated, the most incarcerated people in the world. We have significant problems and we need practical change. And that means listening to the people and listening to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who say they want a voice in the issues that affect them. And I think that is a great way to develop policy.
Just on the issues of divisions, because, it's such a central theme. Peter Dutton argued yesterday that the government's current model is going to be divisive. And then you've got Noel Pearson out this morning saying Peter Dutton's an undertaker preparing the grave to bury Uluru, guilty of Judas betrayal of the country. Who's more divisive?
I think the politics has been extremely divisive, but I think that we've got to unite around the vision of our country going forward.
Right.
And so, I really ignore the major parties on this and come back to the Uluru Statement of the Heart, where Aboriginal people asked for this, and come back to the point of, what my community cares about. And that's how they're approaching it. This isn't a question of politics. This is a question of, where the country is going and how we see ourselves in the future. And that's really what I'm trying to engage in.
I've only got 30 seconds left to ask you about your roundtable on tax reform, Allegra. Is there any way you can sum up if there was a key point that came out of that?
Look, I think what there's a lot of opportunity to look at tax, and frankly, we need to, because our system is neither sustainable nor fair, nor does it drive innovation and growth in this country, and that's what it needs to do. So we've got to get it out of the too hard basket, and that's what I'm doing to push the major parties to do something.
And just while you're here, I just thought of this too. I mean, with housing the way it's going, we've got this report from Domain today that suggests that Sydney's rental crisis is only going to get worse. Prices have gone up 24% in just the last year alone. Is there any quick fix to that? I mean, are people just going to have to keep paying more and more and more until supply is increased?
Look, we need to increase supply. We probably also need to we need to pull back on probably public infrastructure so that more people, more trades can actually go into building housing, because we've got some real issues there. There are no quick fixes. This is a massive and long-term issue, which we have failed to deal with, but we have to increase supply of housing.
Good to have you with us, Allegra Spender. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Good to see you.